Many of the moments we look back on in sports are imprinted in our mind by a photographic memory because of an image we saw that relates to that moment in history that was shot and captured so we could remember it. The shot by Kawhi Leonard or Miracle on Ice in 1980 all can be remembered by a single still image that we can look back on in our mind. To see the issues facing sports photojournalists, we must first get to know what a sports photojournalist is and what they really do. Sports photojournalists are major contributors of newspapers, magazines, blogs, website, and social media pages. They provide an important piece to news stories by taking a photo that will help paint a picture in the reader's mind more than a million words can. Sports photojournalists mainly have knowledge in the sport they are shooting for and have a neat eye to be able to take a certain style of artistic image when it comes to the sport they are trying to capture. There are many issues facing sports photojournalists at the moment in the world we live in today. The first real issue that sports photojournalists face in this day and age is the COVID-19 pandemic. With COVID-19 shutting down sports for such a long time, especially around that 2 to 4 months where we didn't really see sports on TV, we didn't see them live, we were just seeing replays. It was very hard for sports photojournalists to find work and be able to sustain an income from sports. When the world was on pause, so many sports photojournalists were out of work just based on the fact that they had nothing to shoot. This issue really caused a problem in the world where so many sports photojournalists were having to look other places for work in the photojournalism sector, especially at a time where the world was on such a standstill and nobody was really going out much or doing anything. With the issue of COVID-19, when sports did resume, sports photojournalists faced another factor. The factor of sports being played in bubbles or limited capacity in stadiums. Many sports photojournalists were not allowed into stadiums, and it was only given to certain people in certain different media types. If you were in the NHL bubble, for instance, there was only allowed sports photojournalists from Canadian media and the American media, where a European media wasn't able to be allowed in just based on the fact that the bubble was in Canada and not overseas in Europe. This caused a big issue because many sports photojournalists who have been able to go to Stanley Cup finals and being able to really witness these Stanley Cup playoffs and shoot them weren't able to do that this year, and it really lacked a lot of media attention just from a sports photojournalist standpoint, and many people were unable to really get the shot that they wanted and really shoot what they wanted. As we move on from the first issue of COVID-19 affecting sports photojournalists in this day and age, the second issue we really need to look on is the death of the photographer. This doesn't mean that photographers are dying because of photojournalism and sports photojournalism. No, this means that many more companies and people want video instead of still photography. This causes a big issue for sports photojournalism, as it is really killing it because many more companies are looking to videos for their websites and blogs, and even if you scroll through social media these days, many of the Instagram feeds you see from big news companies such as I would say CBS or the New York Times or even ESPN, they're not looking for those grade A capture photography moments anymore. They're looking for those videos to really get their point across to the viewers that they want to watch their feed. Now, how is sports photojournalism playing into this? Well, now instead of these big companies asking for these sports photojournalists to give that incredible shot, like Tiger Woods winning his first Masters, or Kawhi Leonard shooting up a 3-point to win and send the Toronto Raptors into the NBA Finals. No, now they're looking for the video instead of a still photo. Still photography is now becoming an act of the past, where many sports photojournalists are not heavily relied on in their news companies, and it's becoming an issue where sports photojournalism is kind of dying because of the new media wanting more video and higher standards of quality film.